This is my first video ever on YouTube. Could be on Instagram or TikTok, depending where you're seeing this right now, you'll probably know. But I would like to talk about Watchmen issue number 1 as my first video ever. I think it would be kind of a special one. I haven't read the rest of the story, so I just want to cover the first issue. So let's get into it. So we start the issue off with two detectives discovering how the comedian, also known as Edward Morgan, died in his apartment. They figured out soon with evidence throughout the house, or apartment, that he was tossed out of his window and fell to his demise sadly. After this, Rorschach finds the comedian's badge right outside his apartment and then climbs/scales up the building into the comedian's apartment. With this, Rorschach then finds his stash in his apartment where he has all his weapons when he was the comedian and all of that stuff, his armor or suit. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah. Shortly after this, we see Night Owl, also known as Dan Draberg. I don't know if I butchered that or not, but yeah. Talking to the former Night Owl, Hollis Mason, until he leaves and arrives back at his apartment. Dan soon figures out that Rorschach had broken into his apartment and sitting there eating cold beans. I don't know, that's kind of weird. But yeah. So in the end, they end up going down to his lair or something like that. And Rorschach in the end tells Dan that the comedian's dead and that he should be careful because he thinks that this killer is targeting costumed vigilantes. Soon after this, he goes to Adrian Veidt. Don't know if I butchered that either, but he does. And he basically tells him the exact same thing, to be careful. We don't really see much of him, but 2 panels. And then he ends up going to Dr. Manhattan, also known as John Osterman, Silk Spectre, also known as Lord Spexic. I don't know if I butchered that, but whatever. But Dr. Manhattan already knows that the comedian's dead, so it was no surprise to them. So yeah. And Silk Spectre expresses that she didn't like the comedian for a reason I probably shouldn't say on YouTube, so we're just gonna breeze past that. In the end, Rorschach ends up mentioning Dan, and Lori ends up calling him, and they go out for the night, and they reminisce on the past, and that's about it. That's a wrap of the issue. So I hope you guys like that. This is my first video ever. I hope it does good. If it does good, I'll make more videos on it. If not, I think I'm gonna cover Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 1. I guess we'll see. See you guys.